No one would believe what we've just gone through. God. We tried to switch, sides.
Didn't work.
That did not work.
No.
We've been shuffling around things for the last 20 minutes. Okay, so we're back again.
Eventually we'll change to another location.
Yeah,
Right now, this is good. This is our little coffee nook.
Shoot, we've only been here for 1 week, so 1 week, a week and a day.
A lot. We've done a lot in all this time. I mean, you have.
Getting things out of boxes. What a ordeal. Well, this one guy keeps asking about the Meniere's thing. He's just found out a few years ago, well, he's got Meniere's, and wanted to know how you dealt with it.
Well, I had catastrophic tinnitus goes along with my Meniere's, and when my Meniere's happened, it was I had debilitating vertigo, and it wasn't going to let me go, and so I went to Dr. Shea in Memphis. I went through lots of people. I saw a lot of people try to do something about it because the vertigo was real intense, and sometimes I couldn't get up, from out of bed. And if it happened when I was driving, I'd have to pull over. So it was getting out of hand. Didn't know how it happened, just came on me. And I was having noise in it used to be perfectly clear ear. But suddenly it's like, and then next thing you know, it's like a chorus. And then the vertigo started, and I didn't know. I went to lots of different doctors. An Indian doctor put me in up in Chicago, outside of Chicago. Went to an Indian doctor. I took the city of New Orleans there and back to Memphis. Up to Chicago and back. I rode the city of New Orleans and went to see this Indian doctor, and he did acupuncture and thinking this, and it wasn't cheap, all this. And he put my head in a magnetic field, a round magnet. He put my head up in this round magnet, and I had all these needles in me. It was and I would do anything though, to try to get rid of all the noise and the vertigo and stuff. And finally, I went to Dr. Shea at Shea Clinic in Memphis, and I wouldn't go there because it said clinic, and I thought it's like, animal clinic or something, they run you in and run you out. Well, when I went there, I had an appointment with John Shea III, and I was turned out to be his 1,000th patient for Meniere's. He put a permanent shunt tube in a drainage tube in the cochlea of the endolymphatic sac of the cochlea of my left middle ear. And he had to invade my skull to do it. I didn't know that was going to be happening. But, when I left out of that, suddenly something else went awry, because suddenly my thing was draining properly, and a host of other noises came. I suddenly had something went loose in there. And it went from bad to worse after that, and that's with the operation. It took care of the vertigo, but it left me with a head full of noise, like it's insurmountable.
Did it have anything to do with the music, the loud music?
No, hell no, it had nothing to do with that. It's, I'm sure that affects tinnitus, when people get that, or shooting guns,
Right.
You know, blast away and get all the fascia. Mows them down, you know. They get to going and they won't stop, you know. And in my case, it's more than that, you know, with the Menieres. It could be for any number of reasons that it befell me. I know what it did. It brought me to my knees internally, you know, and what I've had to do with it, with all the noise that I was left with. I don't have vertigo problems. What vertigo problems I do have, my chiropractor can take care of. You know, he'll adjust if I have any bouts of something, he'll adjust my atlas, you know, and suddenly things are a little bit more in kilter. But I just have to learn to live with this. I thought about it. If I lost a limb, you know, I'd have to learn to live with it, you know. My mom had breast cancer, and she had to have a mastectomy, and she said, well, it wasn't doing me any good anyway. She said, it was finished when you stopped. That's what she said. She had a really good attitude on life and how things happen, you know, and how you're just gonna have to roll with it, you know. Suicide was no answer to my dilemma. I had to learn. I know that I'm here for a greater purpose, and my Menieres, you know, literally brought me to my knees, you know, internally, and it's made me learn and appreciate the world. What I do here, and I hear the thing is, I hear too much. You know, I just hear way too much. You know, so sometimes I have to listen in between everything around that's going on with me. I have to find a place for the world, you know. Outside noise is a wonderful balance for me. You know, it's a distraction. You know, it would be awful to be deaf and alone in here with all this noise, you know. But I'm not, and my hearing's pretty good, except I just hear too much, you know. I hear better in one ear than I do out of the other, you know. I don't know. I think a lot of it's my past catching up with me, wrecking those cars and, you know, getting hit with a baseball bat. I mean, just a lot of things, you know. They say that, you know, all the things that happen to you when you're a youngster, you know, or you're 20 and 23 and 4 and 7 and 35, they don't, you know, you say, wow, I just rolled with it. I walked through it, you know. God, I walked away from that wreck, you know. Yeah, but when you hit about 70, you start paying the price, you know. And my Menieres is part of that. And the only thing I can say is, if anybody is suffering, you know, you just learn to live with that, you know. And if it was anything, you know, maybe I know that we're all here for a greater purpose, you know. Perhaps, you know, that is a sign to you that, you know, for what maybe your part in this life and the rest of yours is, you know. You know, maybe you can touch someone else, reach someone else, and comfort them in their misery, you know. Misery does love company, and I only know about 4 other people. You know, there's 4 ladies, as a matter of fact, and then there was one guy that had Menieres and had this operation, pretty much the same operation as I did. And so we had like a little Menieres club for a while, you know.